There's no way he just said that. Take a look at this.
Social media is not reality. One video clip, devoid of context, can be very misleading. Given that McNeil never brought this incident to JSO's attention, but rather pushed the cell phone camera footage out on social media, the administrative process is still ongoing, and as such, I will neither defend nor commend Officer Bauer's response to resistance until all the facts are known. Truth is, William McNeel Jr. was non-compliant with JSO officers.
Black police officers, I think they're going to change the system within, right? They're going to go and join, and they're going to be the change. End up just like that black police officer who was complicit in that black man being beaten in Jacksonville. And just like every other black man, black woman being beaten or brutalized by police, they did not do anything because they cannot do anything. What we don't talk about as a collective is how much we underestimate the systems that were used and put in place to oppress us. We always say, oh, you know, the very first police officers were slave catchers, and that is true, and it is important when we're talking about this. But what we don't talk about is what it actually does to us as a community, because we're not slaves no more, right? It literally is being used to kill the black community. How many black bloodlines and lineages do you think was cut off because a black man or woman was locked up for some bull? Sorry. And that's just one way that the police and the entire penal system is used against the black community to ensure that we cannot procreate and produce unless it's for them. Because what they do to the black people who are imprisoned is use them for labor, right? While simultaneously allowing anything to happen to them in there. These white police officers, these white COs, these are all part of the system. They allow anything to happen to our black brothers and sisters who are arrested and locked up right now. And you think your little bitty self is going to go into this system and change something? It's bigger than you. There's no amount of black police officers that could change what we have today that we know to be the police force. It is a gang. It is a militia. And its goal is to kill black people. Now, of course, they affect other communities, but its goal since the beginning has been to kill black people. And what's not talked about enough is a lot of black police officers came from a mindset where they felt rejected from their community or rejected from whatever. They just felt rejected. So they felt the need to go be a police officer because you wanted to have some brotherhood, some sisterhood. But now you're in a position where you're watching your fellow black brothers and sisters be beaten and lynched, and you can't do nothing about it. You cannot change these systems. You have to burn them down. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a situation like these black police officers who just so happen to be there. And when the statements come out, it couldn't be about race because there was a black police officer there. Is that what you want to be? Is that the change that you want to see? Don't trust these black police officers. Don't find peace when you see them. Don't find solace when you see them. They are not like us. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar was not just about fucking white people and black people or Mexicans. No, there is so many different sub-communities, so many different sub parts of the community that are not like us. And I mean us.
Grand rising to my queens and kings across Africa. Wagwan. I hope you are doing good, my kings and queens from Africa and across the ocean. Peace, strength, and clarity to every black soul listening right now. Now, if you are watching this video, first of all, it's because the truth is calling you. Not the media, not the politician's truth, not even the sheriff weak attempt at controlling the narrative. Because what I'm getting from the story of William McNeel Jr., it's so sad that I've seen people reacting, saying even black cops are there supporting what was happening. Yesterday or the past episode, we talked about how white people reacted on this because white people now are seeing the reality, what the police is up to the black community. Now, I'll say this. Today, the truth is wrapped in a painful story, a story that you have seen. Because what happened to William McNeel Jr. didn't just involve white cops with power. The sheriff of that region or the sheriff of that town is a black one. This time, black officers were part of it. That's what we are going to talk about in this video. But more so, I'm going to react on black Americans' reactions or black people reactions around the world. I want you to see the reactions of black people first, and then we come back. We talk more.
So this raccoon said that it wasn't a sucker punch. He's trying to tell us after we seen the video that it wasn't a sucker punch. There's a video, sir. It clearly shows a punch. Actually, it shows 2 punches. And the second one looks like an uppercut. So who are you trying to convince? Yourself? It's so crazy that y'all go so hard to defend the bad ones instead of being transparent and exposing the bad ones. And at the very least, just say, you know what? There's going to be an investigation and we're going to look into it and see what's going on. You are taking the side of the aggressor. For what reason? I don't know. Like Cube said, the black cops showing up for the white cops. That's all it is. Shit is not difficult to understand. There's a video. Dummy. This is so crazy. How you guys sleep at night? Don't you guys have kids? Nephews? Talking about he should have complied. Talking about he should have complied. All he asked was for a supervisor. And because you was mad, because he was mad that he questioned his so-called authority, he punched him in the face, drag him out the car. It's crazy. And then y'all wonder why we hate y'all so much. Then y'all wonder why we hate y'all so much. It's because y'all are not just. Y'all are supposed to be here to serve and protect. But y'all are tyrant. Y'all terrorize people. And the black ones are worse. This is the reason why there's no good cops. Because the good ones don't want to speak up against the bad ones. And it doesn't make sense to me because that will make us trust y'all more if y'all was more transparent. Dude asked for a supervisor, got punched in the face twice, drag out the car, violate all his rights. Oh yeah, he's getting paid. I don't know, some of y'all are out here talking nonsense. This dude is getting paid and the taxpayers are going to pay. And I hope, for those who don't care about black people, I hope y'all understand it's going to come out of your pockets. And you know what's crazier? These people behind closed door, they know who to put in front. They put 2 black dudes and a white dude. Hey, we got 2 black dudes, and one of them is the sheriff. So anything we did was justified. Like we are that stupid.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm speaking from the heart, right? The William McNeel video is very disturbing. And I'm speaking as a police officer. I've been a police officer for 6 going on 7 years. It's disturbing because, and I'm just get straight to it, the black officers, like the black officers that was on scene, y'all definitely could have stepped up and shut all that shit down. Y'all definitely could have stepped up. Because, like, what, like, are we serious right now? And I've been in situations, felony stops. I've been in situations where there was a gun in the car, we didn't know, and we had to yank somebody. I've been in situations where you had to use force, and I understand, but that was not one of those situations. He wasn't being combative, and if you want to call talking combative, like, let's be real, man. Go police for somebody. Go be a real police. Go do something. Because y'all, like, what pisses me off is that in times like these, y'all double down. Instead of just being community police, y'all double down on bullshit. Why would you punch that man in the face? Not once, but twice. Why did he have to get slammed on the ground? And granted, bro, I've policed for way more dangerous cities than damn Jacksonville, I promise you. Hey, what is the problem? It's disturbing because those black officers exuberated cowardness. Like, y'all are cowards, bro. Y'all sat there and let that happen to that man for no reason. For no reason. He didn't deserve none of that. None of that. And I won't even speak against William. I'm speaking against y'all. Because what are we actually doing? You know what comes with this badge? It's a lot that come with this badge, man. And time and time again, I see, witness people try to find their identity in this badge. If you've never been in a position of leadership, never had power in your hands and been held to a standard before, you're gonna abuse this badge. So before you take your ass over there to that police academy and thinking that you want to be police because you need some sort of ego boost, hey bro, it ain't for you. This job is not for everybody. If you've never been in a position of leadership, never, if all your life you've been looked down on, bullied, whatever, and you decide to pick up this badge, and now that you got some sense of pride of macho man in you, bro, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because a lot of situations you can talk yourself out of. All you had to do is just explain to him what was going on. And if he didn't want to listen, keep explaining. Bro, you got all the time in the world. You have nothing else to do but answer calls. You got all the time in the world. And if he kept going, there's ways to do shit. Punching that man window out, and then punching him in the face, and then yanking him out and punching him in the face and slamming him on the ground again. Bro, y'all are cowards. Everybody in that video, but I expect that from the guys. I expect that from them, but not from y'all, black officers. Cowards, bro. And it's a lot. It's a lot in the field. Everybody that wear this badge is not upstanding citizens. I'm telling you, firsthand, a lot of these people that wear these badges are doing it to boost their egos because they never been looked at in such a caliber until they put this badge on. I'm disgusted. And I hope this video's find the family of those officers. I hope it does. I hope it finds those officers. You can write me, come at me, I'm going to tell you the same thing. You're a coward, boy. That's terrible. Do better.
Every so often, I become afraid for my children, for my 2 black boys in particular that I have. Like, why is this okay? You tell me why this is okay. I looked at the camera footage or the dash cam footage, and I looked at the officer footage as well. And I have some thoughts, but yeah, looking at the officer footage, the body cam footage, he didn't have to be a sassy. However, he asked for a supervisor. That should have just deaded the whole conversation. So why wasn't he given the supervisor? And why was the second cop that he was talking to on the other side, listening to the first cop before listening to the passenger? Because he didn't hear. I don't think he heard. The second cop heard William asking for a supervisor because he was talking to the other cop saying, I'm about to break down the windows. I'm about to break down the windows. And he said, okay, go ahead. So they break the window. He punches him in the face. They take him out. Wait, and then I see a black cop too. We're not going to talk about Officer Tom here, but is that just so that it's not showing racially motivated? And all over not having your headlights on. I am afraid for my kids' lives. I have cried more in the last hour than I have in the last 2 weeks of me just going through random shit, because I'm really afraid for my black kids and their lives. Luckily, he did retain a lawyer, and their firm specializes in like civil justice. I'm glad he did that. And I also saw the interview with the sheriff, and he was full of bullshit too. Y'all keep William McNeely Jr. in your prayers, because I'm afraid for this kid. I'm afraid how it's going to turn out. and home of the brave. Home to a bunch of cowards. Y'all keep William McNeely Jr.
beating a man while his hands are up, while he's complying, and then to lie to us, gaslighting us as if we can't see the footage, to say that he was resisting. I have a lot to say about William McNeel, but I'm going to take some time to really gather my thoughts and gather myself, because if I speak to this right now with the feelings that I have, I'm not going to be able to stitch the words together and it makes sense. I feel a lot of different emotions right now, and I'm like this close to crying, but I'm really just trying not to, because Lord knows I'm tired of shedding tears for people who look like me, who I see on camera being brutalized. Then I have to go to work and pretend like everything is okay, because God forbid we have real conversations in the places where we do our jobs. So I'm going to come back when I've put myself together, and I'm going to put a plan together, because I'm over it. If we can focus on ICE, we can focus on Black issues and police brutality as well. We have to, you guys. We have to. I can't have kids in a place like that. I need a minute.
There's so many examples of Black people not resisting arrest and then just completely getting their heads kicked in, or just completely having their life taken away from them. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to understand why we are so vehemently against the police. And it pisses me off so bad that we have to stroke the egos of grown children with no kind of emotional regulation. And my tax money is going to their pockets, and they're treating my people like this. It pisses me the fuck off. William McNeel did nothing wrong in the situation. Like, there's people that are saying like, oh, he was giving them attitude. But like, when is giving somebody attitude warrant getting your head kicked in? Getting stomped out on the pavement, bruh. Like, there's so many instances of white folks that are just mouthing off to the police, but they're allowed to do that because they're white. And Black folks don't even want white folks to feel the same treatment that we do. We just want to be treated equal. We just want to be seen as human beings, bruh. Whatever reaction William had in this situation would have been valid, because he felt like his life was in danger, no matter if he was passive or if he was aggressive. Like, if he decided to pull out the fire and just air it out, like, I wouldn't blame him in that situation, because he's in fear for his life. He's in fear for his life, so I cannot tell him how he should respond in that kind of a situation. Black folks are so tired of having to shuck and jive to make these people feel comfortable, and cower to make ourselves feel less than, and make these motherfuckers feel comfortable. I'm so sick of this shit. And thank God he didn't lose his life, but he still has a lot of damage done to him. He has a concussion, a chipped tooth, had to get 6 stitches, and he's gonna have a lot of mental health issues because of this situation. Like, it's so disheartening, bro, because we are in the modern day where shit like this shouldn't even be happening, bruh.
Resisting arrest without violence gets you physically assaulted in this country by law officers. At least that's the case for William McNeel Jr. Back in February of this year, 22-year-old William McNeel Jr. was pulled over for not having his headlights on during the day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Now, police officers justified it by stating you need to have those headlights on when it's raining. It was a light drizzle, because none of them were covered during that entire altercation, if you look at the footage. Between his cell phone and the viral footage that just came out yesterday, we are all looking at this like, why did this man have to get punched repeatedly over and over and over again? Especially when the report indicates that he was resisting arrest without violence. Why was there violence then? The best part is that there are going to be no criminal charges against these cops, because why would there be? You know, we're being ridiculous. We are reviewing things administratively. So this man suffered tooth damage, a concussion with short-term memory loss, and the cops get what? Paid vacation? We seriously have lost our humanity here. Ugh.
Welcome back. Now, William McNeil Jr. is a young black man who, like so many others, just wanted to live, breathe, and exist in the world. But something happened lately, and it exposes the police violence that is in the United States towards black people. Body cam footage shows McNeil being yanked, thrown, and beaten like he wasn't human, something like that. We are not talking because he's black, but we are talking because this has been there for so long. And the people who are there, we had white police officer, black police officer, and that video spread online like fire. And we talked about it on the video that we about white people reacting on this situation. Now, I'll say this. A lot of black Americans have come out and say that our own was there. Our own black police was there. And the sheriff who they thought would protect the people, he twisted the story, the narrative. That's how a lot of black Americans are saying. And I'm just want to talk about the role of black officers in the system. The role of black officers in the system. Just like that black soldiers who was talking about Ibrahim Traore back. Not all black cops are the enemy. Not all of them are the enemy. There are black officers in our communities doing everything that can be done to protect and serve with integrity. We are not talking about serving black people. We are talking about serving with integrity, and they are trying to survive within the corrupt system that was never built for us. Okay? Now, here is the issue. When you put on that badge, because I can see even in Africa, for example, let me take an example in Kenya, these cops, they are our brothers and sisters. All of us are black. All of us are Kenyan. But they kill, they endorse, they use excess power, So when you put on that badge, that uniform, and you stand beside white officer who brutalize black people, and you say nothing, or when you hold down another black man so your colleagues can beat him bloodily. When you participate in that system of violence, you are no longer black in spirit. You are an agent of the white power structure. You are an agent of the white power structure. So even those police officers, for example, in Kenya, who kill civilians, they do bad things. They are not Kenyans. They are agents of the Western, of the West nation, of the white supremacy. Now, I have got to say this in plain, because the system doesn't care if the hand that hits you is white or black. The goal is still the same: to crush the resistance, to dehumanize, and to control, okay? And that's why this incident of William Jr. cut so deep, okay? We were raised believing that, kinfolk, that if a black cop pulled you over, maybe, just maybe, they will see your humanity, But in that case of William McNeil Jr., what we see on that clip, what we see was chilling black face upholding white supremacy. On the sheriff face, I saw white supremacy. And that is exactly what people mean when they say black faces in higher places mean nothing if they serve the same system. And that's what we said about Barack Obama when he was the president. He was the president, but he was not serving black people. He was not serving with integrity. He was serving, or he was the face of the white supremacy. So you get that say, black face in high place does not mean nothing. Now, I will talk a little bit about the sheriff, and if I'm wrong, please tell me on the comment section, okay? After the footage dropped, after the outrage bubbled up, the sheriff did this. He didn't apologize. I don't know if he didn't. I don't know if he did. He didn't offer accountability or didn't fire anyone, okay? Instead, what that sheriff did, according to me, he gaslighted the entire community, told folks they didn't see what they saw, spun a story so scripted it made Hollywood jealous. I think it was just gaslighting the community. And that's what gaslighting is. Making people doubt their own reality. Making you question your eyes, your truth, and your God's feeling. Now, guess what? That one, I don't think if it will work. I don't think if it will work. Because Black America ain't blind anymore. They have seen the game too many times. They have been in this game for so long, and they know how this game starts. They know how this game ends. So the sheriff thinks that everyone has forgot about George Floyd, about Breonna Taylor. He thinks that people have forgot about Tyron Nicholas, who was also beaten by black cops. No, sir. Black people took some notes. They took some notes. They have seen the footage, and they have buried too many black people. And I will say, let me use we. We as black people, we will not be fooled by that press, okay? The empty statements and the political spin. And let me tell you something. Black people know what this is. They know it. Even white people saw, and they know what this is. But another thing that I'm happy with the black people right now, they ain't protesting for this. That is the twist, okay? Maybe you may be gaslighting, baiting, but when people expect black Americans to flood in the street, when people expect the rage, because I think that's what the government is trying to do, rage black people so that they can erupt. When they expect protest, when they expect broken windows and shouting marches, that cannot happen. I don't think if it will happen. Why? Because black people finally understood that this is a trap. It is a trap. You see, they have weaponized the pain of black people, and they know how to contain it, okay? They give black people free speech zones. They send in riot gear. They film them protesting and play it on repeat while changing nothing. Protest used to be powerful, but now they're predictable, okay? What we are doing, just allow me to use we. I'm black too, even if I'm not black American. Allow me to use we. What we are doing right now as black people, we are waking up to the fact that instead of protesting, black people are talking. We are organizing. We are building. We are redirecting our energy away from reaction and into transformation. Okay? Because I think what they are trying to do, they want black people emotions. Okay? They want your emotion. They want you to act with emotions. They want your fear. They want your predictable outrage that keeps them in control. What they want is what keeps them in control. Your fear as a black person is what keeps them in control. Your outrage as a black person is what keeps them in control. Your emotions as a black person, that is what keeps the Supreme into control. Okay? But what do you think will happen if black people stop reacting? What do you think will happen if black people stop protesting and just start strategizing? You know? And that is a silent move. And silent move is so scary. They are so scared with the silent move of black people. But that is what we are doing as black people. Okay? The bigger picture here is our police brutality, or it's the system, okay? This ain't just about William Jr. This is about a long blood-stained history of police being used as a tool of oppression against black bodies. You know, slave patrol became police. Jim Crow laws were enforced by police. Yeah, Interpol used the police to infiltrate movements of black people. And today, they use the police to suppress, to surveil, and silence. Okay? But that badge is not neutral. That badge is not neutral. It has carried power, and that power has been used to protect property over people, witnesses over justice. So when I talk about bad apples, or when we talk about bad apples, we are not talking about the rot in the system. We are talking about the system itself being rotten. Okay? And until we face that, not just change faces, but change the entire system, we will continue to see black people beaten, jailed, and even unalived, okay? While sheriffs goes on TV and pretend everything is right. Nothing is right on the system, okay? And I've played you reactions to what black Americans are saying. Black Americans are not silent, okay? They are just strategic now. Don't think they are silent. Don't play with the, what you're trying to do, it will erupt, okay? Because they are strategizing, okay? We knew even black cops weren't safe to trust. And you see that the proof. But black people knew even black cops can't be trusted. This ain't about color. It's about consciousness. And they want black people to react. But no, we are building behind the scenes. So the gaslight isn't working anymore right now, okay? We see the scripts. All over social media, it is echoing the same message. And this message is that we are done playing games, okay? It's not that we don't care. We care deeply, but we have evolved. And now our resistance look different. It is economic, it is spiritual, it is global, okay? And I'll say this. Next thing that we need to do as black people, we move smart, okay? Organize communities, patrols, okay? Hold the local elections accountable, build black-owned media so they can twist the narrative, boycott what needed to be boycotted. Don't boycott African businesses, okay? Boycott what needed to. Build what must be built, okay? Love and protect people like never before, because protesting in front of the courthouse doesn't scare the system anymore, okay? Be self-sufficient, black unity, black financial power. And now that is the revolution we want, black power, okay? We see the game, we see the pattern, we see the guideline. We have been seeing this, so we know the game. Don't fall for the same trap we have been falling for so long, okay? And I'll say this to my family, every black person who have gone through the hands of police brutality, we stand with you. To every black soul watching this video, feeling tired, betrayed, and angry, you are not alone. But let me say this clear. No more reacting to the emotions. We are responding, rebuilding, rising, but silently. That is the biggest weapon. Until next episode, peace out.